Mr. Speaker, the NDP leader has an economic plan that's dangerous for Canadians. He wants to impose a job-killing carbon tax.
These policies, along with a new $20 billion carbon tax.
When asked about the fact certain premiers wanted to meet him earlier in the spring about his comments about shutting down Canadian industry and imposing
job-killing carbon tax scheme, which will raise the price on everything, including gas, including groceries, including electricity. One would think that if the NDP were confident enough to put this in their policy platform, a $21 billion revenue
However, it seems
grab.
they can't keep from playing some parliamentary games, even on bills they support. The member from Thunder Bay Rainy River read word for word the same speech as the NDP public safety critic had
to reject dumb ideas
day.
like a $20 billion carbon tax.
What failed to realize is that while we were calling, he was calling on us to do more to help make jobs available for his cornerstone policy will kill thousands of jobs and put hard-working Canadians out of work. The NDP leader's $21 billion carbon-killing tax.
The NDP leader's
This job-killing
$20 billion
carbon tax.
The NDP's been busy over the summer pushing their idea of a carbon tax.
Forward a job-killing carbon
tax that would raise the price of everything.
And the NDP, whose economic plan is a $21 billion job-killing carbon tax.
A job-killing $21 billion carbon tax upon the people of Canada.
A dark cloud looms on the horizon. A new $21 billion job-killing carbon tax is still on the table for the NDP.
They do not want to see the NDP's $21 billion carbon tax.
But while we're focused on helping the economy grow, the NDP wants a $21 billion carbon tax.
Sure do.
The NDP is proposing a massive $21 billion job-killing carbon tax.
New $21 billion job-killing carbon tax.
On the other hand, Mr. Speaker, the NDP is focused on implementing a $21 billion job-killing carbon tax.
After all, the NDP is the party that has a $21 billion carbon tax.
Their priority, a $21 billion carbon tax that would hurt the economy and hurt Canadian families.
We will continue to expose the NDP's $21 billion carbon tax.
The last thing we need is a $21 billion NDP
Mr. Speaker, our government does not tolerate any misuse of taxpayers' dollars. The individuals in question are no longer employees of the federal government. The amount still outstanding is about $4,000. Our government has taken all steps necessary to recover these funds, and credit cards are now only issued for necessary circumstances. But what Canadians, Mr. Speaker, would really like to know...
To hide behind the media and not respond to one simple question.
The price of gas, groceries, and electricity rise.
How much of the $21.5 billion of new taxes...
Mr. Speaker, it's been quite clear that the leader of the NDP has made a carbon tax the cornerstone of an NDP platform should they ever form government in this country. What a shame it would be for hard-working families to see an increase in gas prices, an increase in groceries, an increase in electricity prices.
Total expenditure, green job creation, cap and trade revenues by year, $21.5 billion.
Speaker, well, remember, we're talking about a company with $220 in the bank and a corporate value of minus $32,000 at its last filing. That's the guys that got the lease. Someone who wants to get backing of the Koreans or Russians to get rich. Industry observer Paul Ziff rightly points out this would never happen in the North Sea. At least in the UK, they have some concern about who takes their resources. Why did they sell off this lease to a fly-by-night company in one of the most environmentally sensitive areas of the country, one of the places where drilling and exploration is at the most controversial right now?
While the opposition wants to impose a job-killing carbon tax on food production and groceries, can the Minister of Agriculture tell the House how our government is supporting farmers? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And his cohorts over there, their job-killing carbon tax that would immediately raise costs for farmers and destroy their bottom lines. We won't let that happen, Mr. Speaker.
As of last spring, these credit cards are now only issued to certain ministerial staff who are required to undertake substantial travel in the course of their duties. All but two of the fees he references were delayed payments, which resulted in no cost to taxpayers whatsoever. With regards to uncollected debt, the individuals in question no longer work for
And it's
the
not
government.
just our economy that's capturing international accolades. Former President Bill Clinton, former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, and retired General Colin Powell have honored our Prime Minister with the World Statesman of the Year Award for his international leadership, which will put him in the company of renowned leaders like former PM Margaret
The honourable member
Thatcher.
for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to raise for the first time in question period an issue that has been of some concern nationally to the Prime Minister, the strange case of Dr. Porter. Can it be explained how Arthur Porter ended up with top-secret security clearance, chair of the Security Intelligence Review Committee, and a member of Privy Council? Were normal background checks suspended? And importantly, is he still a member of Privy Council?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, Arthur Porter submitted his resignation from his position as chair of the Security Intelligence Review Committee. We accepted this resignation. The allegations that Mr. Porter is facing do not have anything to do with his former responsibilities.
That concludes question period for today. The Honourable Member for Acton Bathurst is rising on a...
You're not willing to take the fall for something you didn't do?
No, and all the anonymous sources in the world can point the finger at me, but I'm not going to take responsibility for something that I'm not responsible for.
You think you're being made the fall guy?
I think that there's some people that maybe had an interest in seeing me take the fall for it.
The NDP seems to vote against all our initiatives rather than support our initiatives. Why?